Good day, I'm Andrea Chisholm and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, June 24. Government will be allocating $75 million this year to help offset the economic challenges facing vulnerable Jamaicans. Labour and Social Security Minister Derek Kelly made the announcement in a statement to Parliament Tuesday. It replicates an allocation made last year under the Short-Term Poverty Intervention Project.
Our evaluation showed that the assistance impacted in a very significant way the economic conditions of the recipients.
Minister Kelly said 3,500 poor households benefited from last year's intervention, which mostly provided compassionate grants and supported entrepreneurial ventures. As was done last year, each member of parliament will be given $1 million. But this time the money will be disbursed in two equal tranches, half in the July to September period and the remainder in December. The Labour Ministry will be going island-wide in August to pre-select suitable candidates for the Canadian Farm Work Programme. In another statement to Parliament yesterday, Minister Kelly said the pre-selection exercise would be done between August 10 and 28. The ministry's recruiting teams will conduct interviews at 4 strategic locations, each pulling candidates from a number of parishes.
So that when the Canadian employers submit requests for workers in the various categories, a ready supply of suitable workers will be available.
Recruits must have farming experience, and Minister Kelly says persons with formal training in the field have a better chance of getting the necessary Canadian visa. Cabinet has reported on the National Logistics Initiative Council NLIC's assessment of information provided by the KRAUCK group under a non-binding memorandum of understanding with the government. The council was appointed by Cabinet in May to oversee the MOU signed with KRAUCK to potentially develop and fund infrastructure for the planned logistics hub. In a statement yesterday, Cabinet said NLIC reported that the proposed bidders did not provide enough due diligence information. As a result, the council said it could not recommend that negotiations proceed at this time between the government and the group. Cabinet says it has accepted NLIC's recommendation, but it has authorized the Industry Ministry, if it so wishes, to continue discussions with KRAUCK to see whether additional credible due diligence information can be had. The trade environment has been enhanced with the signing of a memorandum of understanding that should reduce transaction costs at the ports. The Trade Facilitation MOU was signed by representatives of 8 government ministries this week. It will pave the way for a more transparent process at the ports.
Today's MOU signing signifies our continuing efforts to deepen the business environment reform process and to ensure measurable achievements in the trade facilitation outcomes and in trade performance.
Government has received commendation from Japan for the successful implementation of the Disabilities Technical Cooperation Project. It was implemented in 2011 to enhance the Labour and Social Security Ministry's ability to support the welfare of persons with disabilities. The Japan Social Development Fund provided $572,000 in financing support.
Going forward, we as a Minister of Finance very much like to cooperate in the next project, and on that case, I like to see a very heavy involvement from JICA, and so that we can make a very productive and collaborative project.
The Deputy Director of Japan's Ministry of Finance was speaking during a recent 2-day monitoring mission to review the performance of the project. Government is taking urgent steps to ensure the security of public sector websites. Science and Technology State Minister Julian Robinson tells JIS News that since a breach last year, the administration has been ensuring that systems are resilient and robust in the face of threats. He says the regular issuing of alerts since that breach is what resulted in early containment of the latest spread, which included an attack on the website of the Jamaica Information Service Monday night. Preliminary findings revealed that the attempts of the hacktivists were constrained to surface defacement and no data was corrupted. It is being investigated by members of the JCF's Communication and Cybercrime Forensic Unit and the Major Organized Crime and Anti-Corruption Agency, with support from the Computer Incident Response Team and the JIS Web Team. And finally, Executive Director of the National Council on Drug Abuse, Michael Tucker, is warning of the negative effects of drug use on the young brain and the direct correlation between drug use and criminal behavior. He was speaking at a JIS think tank on Tuesday.
We feel that any drug use can cause problems, and ultimately there's a cycle that drug use causes, especially with a young person.
Mr. Tucker was speaking against the background of a 2014 prison survey, which was done as part of a larger work in progress to explore the relationship between drugs and crime in Jamaica and 6 other Caribbean countries. Among Jamaican inmates, the average age of first use of ganja was 15 years, for alcohol 16, and for tobacco 17 years. The survey also found that 15% of all inmates were juveniles. It was funded largely by the Canadian government and supported by the Organization of American States Inter-American Drug Abuse Commission with the cooperation of the Department of Correctional Services. And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Thank you for watching.